How many of you have ever ridden on a school bus? Okay, so you're familiar with what this is.
Mm-hmm.
A school bus.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what happens if I had half of the school bus have K through 5 students and half of the school bus had 6th graders through 9th graders? What would that mean?
That half the kids were going to a different school.
Yeah. And it would also mean that they were separated from the whole bus into parts of the bus, right?
Yes.
What is this?
A cake.
Who loves birthday cake?
I love cookie cake.
Yes. Okay. So if you're gonna eat a cake, how many pieces of cake are you gonna eat?
The whole thing.
The whole thing? Oh my gosh.
If
So-
my mom lets me.
How many pieces of cake does this look like?
4.
Yeah. Okay. So you're gonna eat 4
I was gonna say
pieces
that.
of cake?
You should have said that.
4 pieces of cake? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. So if I eat 1 piece of this cake, how many pieces of cake are left?
3.
3. Good job. Okay. Now, what is this?
Pizza.
Pizza. What shape is a pizza?
A circle.
A circle. Good job. So, how many pieces of pizza do you guys usually eat?
2.
2?
1.
1. Okay. So, this pizza has 6 pieces of pizza.
It's a small pizza.
Yeah, I think so too. So, if I take 2 pieces of pizza from this pizza, how many pieces of pizza are left?
4.
4. Good job. So this is like simple subtraction and addition, right? So we're going to take this a step further and we're going to talk about the parts that make up a whole. So,
Wait, do you want to be in the video?
no.
Okay.
Okay. So,
I don't even think Emma's in the video. It's just of me.
It's okay.
bro, I'll scoot it. Wait, maybe I could do it like this. I'll just add it. Oh wait, let me ask you guys what shape it is. Okay, what shape is this school bus?
Kind of like a rectangle.
Okay, and what shape is this cake?
A square.
Yes. So basically what we're going to be talking about today is how we can fraction these whole shapes into parts.
What's a fraction?
So a fraction is it's like a part of a whole. So if I have 4 slices of cake, 1 piece of the cake is a fraction of the cake. So it would be 1/4 of the entire cake. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So if I have this pizza, or no, let's see. Okay, I have my school bus, and half of the kids are going to go to the front of the school bus. And there's 2 parts of the school bus. So there's 2 parts. That means that one of these parts is 1/2. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? Okay. So, I'm gonna demonstrate this a little bit. Okay, so here's my circle. How can I make this circle into 2 fractions, 2 portions, 2 parts?
You put a line down the middle.
Yeah, good job. Okay. So now that this circle has 2 parts to it, how can I show 1/2 of the circle?
Make it look different.
Yeah, so I could like fill it in. Okay. So if I have 2 halves of this circle, 2 pieces of the circle, and 1 is filled in, how I'm going to show this, that 1/2 is filled in, is I'm going to put 1, which represents the number of the portion that I filled in. And I'm going to put a line, and I'm going to put the number of parts that make a hole. So there's 2 parts that make this one whole circle, and I filled in one of them. So I have 1/2. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Any questions? Okay, so now let's think about a rectangle. So if I have one rectangle and I split it like this, so it's not very equal, it's okay. Okay, how many parts does this rectangle have?
4.
4. So how can I show 1/4 of this rectangle?
By coloring it in.
By coloring it in. Okay, so if I wanted to make this a fraction, if I wanted to show that this was a fraction, what number would I put over what number? The filled in number over the full amount of parts, right?
So 1.
Yeah. 1 over, how many are there?
4.
4. Good job. So this would be 1/4 of the rectangle. Then if I fill in half of the rectangle, which would be 2 filled in and 2 not filled in. So we'd add up all the parts, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And that's the number on the bottom. And then how many parts are not filled in versus filled in?
2.
2. So where does that number go?
On top.
On top. Good job. Okay. And lastly, we'll do this with a square. Okay. How many parts make up this whole square?
2.
2. So if I fill in this much of the square, how much did I just fill in?
1/2.
1/2. And how can I show that?
1/2.
1/2. Okay, good job. And if I added another line, what does this look like? How many? So there's 4 parts now, and I filled in 2 of the blocks.
So it's 2 over 4.
Good job. And what if I did? What if I filled in this many?
3 over 4.
3 over 4. Exactly. So however many is filled in over the full amount that there is. So there's 3 filled in and there's 4 total. So 3 over 4. Okay. Good job. What time do I have? 8 minutes. I'll have to do 7 minutes. Okay. So I have these worksheets. And you guys are going to get to make your own pizzas and decorate your own pizzas. So what I want you to do is first decide the number of pieces of pizza that you want. So do you want 2 pieces of pizza or 4 pieces of pizza? Four pieces of pizza. Awesome. Okay. So now you can go ahead and decorate your pizza. Do you like pepperoni or sprinkles or M&Ms? Add whatever you want.
What's your favorite type of pizza?
I like pepperoni pizza.
Me too.
Oh my gosh, we're so twins. We're so twins.
What's your favorite type, Emma?
I like cheese. But I'm decorating my own pepperoni.
You would like cheese.
Okay.
Okay.
Wow, that is a beautiful pizza. And those are really good 4 equal parts.
I'm gonna put 4 pieces of pepperoni too.
Yes. Love that. So, how many pieces of your pizza make up a whole pizza?
4.
4. Good job. So how would I show that as a fraction? 4 pieces of pizza, right? Makes up a whole.
Mm-hmm.
That's beautiful. So it would be 4 over 4. And that makes a whole, right?
Yes.
Good job. Okay, great. So at the bottom of your sheet, one slice of this pizza in fraction form is what? If you grab one slice. 1 out of 4. Good job, guys. Okay, so what did we learn about shapes today?
That they can be split up.
Yes, into how many parts did we talk about today?
2 and 4.
2 and 4. So when I split up one circle into 2 parts and I fill in one part of those, what is that?
1/2.
Yes. So we're learning about halves and fourths today. So turn to your neighbor and explain to them what it means to have 4/4 of a pizza.
It's a whole pizza.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the whole cake.
Okay, good job. Okay, so this means basically that each piece of your pizza, when you put them together, makes one whole. And when you grab one piece of your pizza, that's a fraction of your pizza. So,
I'm
like,
hungry.
right? Me too, girl. Lunch is in 30. Okay, so what I want you to do is flip over your piece of paper, and I want you to draw one of the shapes that we talked about today. So a circle, a square, or a rectangle. And I want you to split it into 4 equal parts. Now I want you to fill in 3 of those 4 equal parts. And write down the fraction that you just created with your square. Okay, would anyone like to share with the class what they got?
I got 3/4.
Yay! Okay, show the class. Okay, Emma, how did you do that? How did you know that?
Because 3 out of the 4 parts were filled in.
Yes, exactly. And so you know how to split your shapes into equal parts, and you know now what it means to take a fraction of them. So every time you look at a pizza, you're going to look at it so different now, right? Because every single one of these pieces is a fraction of a whole, right? So let's see, let's go over really fast what we learned. So we've got our rectangle school bus, and it's split into how many pieces?
2.
2. Okay, so it's split into
Halves.
halves. Good job. Okay, and now we've got our cake, and it's what shape is it?
Square.
Square. And it's split up into 4 pieces, so it's split into
4ths.
4. Good job. And then we have our pizza. And this one is a little bit of a tester because we didn't talk about this today, but we'll talk about this eventually. So let's see if you guys can get it. There's 6 pieces of my pizza. So, what do you guys think it's split into?
6.
Yes, exactly. Like you're getting ahead of yourself. Okay, awesome. How many minutes do I have? 15! Yay!
Yay.
Deuces.